The Noah's Ark Mystery, Fact, Faith, and the Flood. Welcome to Gospel Glow, where ancient scripture meets today's questions. Today, we unravel one of the most iconic, and most mysterious, stories in the Bible. The story of Noah's Ark. Was Noah's Ark a real vessel? Did a global flood truly happen, or is it a powerful symbol of divine judgment and redemption? In this episode of Gospel Glow, we explore one of the most iconic and debated stories in the Bible. From the biblical account of Noah's obedience to the global flood, to scientific evidence and cultural flood myths, we uncover the truth behind this enduring tale. Let's dive in. Who was Noah? A descendant of Adam and Eve. To understand Noah, we must go back to the beginning, back to Adam and Eve. After their exile from Eden, their descendants multiplied across generations. Violence, corruption, and moral decay began to plague the earth. Noah, a man described as righteous in a corrupt world. Genesis 6 verse 9 says, Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah was the 10th generation from Adam, through the line of Seth, the son born after Cain and Abel. A direct link to humanity's origin. He wasn't just a farmer or builder, he was chosen. Noah stood out, not for being perfect, but for being faithful in a faithless time. A man chosen not for his strength or power, but for his walk with God. The biblical flood, a world reboot. Genesis 6 verses 11 to 13. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. God decides to cleanse the earth, but preserve life through Noah. He commands Noah to build a massive ark, a vessel unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Genesis 6 verses 14 to 16. Make yourself an ark of cypress wood. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. That's roughly 450 feet long, longer than a football field. And inside? 2 of every animal, and food for all on board. Was it possible? Let's explore. Scientific evidence, a geologist's take. Flood geology is a hot topic. While a literal global flood is debated, science does support the occurrence of massive regional floods in the past. Glacial melting events. Tectonic shifts. Sudden sea level rise due to dammed lakes bursting. One famous example, the Black Sea deluge theory, which suggests a rapid flooding event that may have inspired the story. Still, scientists caution against overstating the evidence. We have no proof of one single flood that covered the entire globe. Flood stories across cultures, a global memory? What's more fascinating is this. The story of a devastating flood isn't unique to the Bible. In Mesopotamia, the Epic of Gilgamesh speaks of a man named Utnapishtim, warned by the gods to build a boat before a flood destroys humanity. In Hindu tradition, Manu is warned by a fish to build a boat to save himself and the 7 sages. Even Native American and African tribes preserve oral traditions of great floods and divine warning. These parallels suggest that flood memory is embedded in the collective human consciousness, a shared trauma from early civilization? Or spiritual truth retold in many voices? Interpreting the evidence, myth or memory? Here's the question. Is Noah's Ark just a myth? Or is it a true memory wrapped in sacred symbolism? Many theologians believe the story is both literal and literary, a divine judgment on sin, but also a story of grace, preservation, and covenant. Genesis 9 verse 13. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. The rainbow wasn't just pretty, it was a promise. God would never again destroy all life by flood. The debate continues, faith meets facts. Even today, explorers claim to have found ark-like structures on Mount Ararat, the region named in Genesis. Yet conclusive evidence remains elusive. That's where faith steps in. This story isn't just about proving an ark existed, it's about asking, what kind of world was worth saving? Why did Noah, alone, find favor? What does our generation need saving from? Final thoughts from Gospel Glow. The story of Noah's Ark is not just about wood and water, it's about obedience, trust, and the power of redemption. Whether you see it as historical, symbolic, or both, the message endures. Even when the world falls apart, God makes a way through the flood. Thanks for joining us today on Gospel Glow. If you found this story thought-provoking, give it a like, drop a comment, and share your thoughts on Noah's legacy. Subscribe for more deep dives into Bible stories, hidden truths, and the light they still shine today. Until next time, keep the glow of faith burning bright.